So this time, we may proceed to chapter 2, which is the International Electronic Business and Collaboration. So for today, we're going to have a discussion about the business process and information systems. No, because in order to operate, businesses must deal with many different pieces of information about suppliers, customers, employees, invoices and payments, and of course, their products and services. No, they must organize work activities that use this information to operate efficiently and enhance the overall performance of the firm. Now, information systems make it possible to firm to manage all their information, make better decisions, and improve the execution of their business. Because business processes refer to the manner in which work is organized, coordinated, and focused to product and valuable product of service. So business processes are the collection of activities required to produce a product or service. And these activities are supported by flows of materials, information, and knowledge among the participants in business processes. Business processes are also referred to the unique ways in which organizations coordinate work, information, and knowledge, and the ways in which management chooses to coordinate work. So to the large extent, the performance of business firms depend on how well its business processes are designed and coordinated. So, as I mentioned, management processes govern the operation of a particular organization systems of operations. So operational processes constitute the core business. No, supporting processes such as human resources and accounting are put in place to support the core business processes. So the term business process and the development of these concepts has led to such areas of study as operations development and operation management and the development of various business management systems. So the systems in turn have created an industry for different software seeking to automate process management by connecting various process actors via technology. So a process is defined as a series of actions to achieve a certain objective. And the BPN processes are continuous but also allow for ad hoc action. So processes can be simple or complex based on the number of steps required, number of systems involved, and others. And they can be short or long-running with longer processes tending to have multiple dependencies and greater documentation requirement. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead. Presenter, you may screen your you may share your screen in Okay, take it away. Go ahead.
System and business processes. Business must
Medyo mahina.
Ayan po, rinig na
sobrang
po.
hina po.
Wait lang po
Okay.
Ayan, rinig na po.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So information system and business processes, business must deal with a wide variety of information to function. So according to the information systems, businesses can manage all of their information, improve the execution of their company processes, and make better decisions. So including data about their product and services, customers, workers, invoices, and payments. So in order to operate effectively and improve the overall performance of the company, they must plan work activities that make use of the information. So processes in business. So this describes how work is planned, coordinated, and concentrated in order to generate an excellent good or service. So business process is a series of tasks necessary to create a good or services. The participants in business process exchange materials, information, and knowledge to support the operations. So other term for the business process is it is also a collection of linked tasks that find their end in the delivery of a service or product to a client. It is also defined as a set of activities that tasks that once completed will accomplish an organizational goal. So how do business processes work? So the process must involve clearly defined inputs and a single outputs. So input, it is what is taken in or operated by and process or a system. So, pag sinabing a single output, it is the amount of something produced by a person, machine, or industry. So these inputs are made up of all the factors that contribute to the added value of a service or product. So these factors can be categorized into management process, operational processes, and supporting business process.
Ano, kompleto na ba, guys? Yung groups? Mga absent.
Management process, this consists of 4 primary functions. This includes the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So in planning, it is defined the performance goal for the organization and determining what actions and resources are needed to achieve the goals. So dito po papasok yung strategic plans, which is long-term goals, and the tactical plans, which is the specific actions that need to be implemented. So for organizing, so once the plans are made decisions, it must be made about how to best implement the plan. So this involves the deciding how the business will be structured. So the third one is the leading. So leading, this is done by people to achieve the goals. So for the last one is the controlling. It is the process of monitoring activities. So the next process is the operational process. These are those that bring direct value to customers and the company itself. They are the processes that directly create revenue. So example includes a discussion of data quality in new hire orientation, responding rapidly to an event that develops in the course of a supply chain process, or acting on the finding of data quality monitoring as part of one's regular duties. So example of the operational process, dito po papasok yung product manufacturing, order to cash process, delivering products to customers. So that's one of some of the example of the operational process. So the third one is the supporting business processes. So this involves back office processes within the business functions that keep the organization running. This also involves sets of activities through the organization. So example of the supporting business process, dito naman po papasok yung processing for payroll, accounts payable, class registration, inventory management, sales, and purchases. So example po dito yung since I'm working in a hotel, so we're using a Opera system. So lahat ng mga department na they have to input, for example, for the payroll, so lahat yun in-entry lang nila with the system na mag-generate siya to the finance department. So next, effective business processes and IT system also shares the same goals. So they improve efficiency, reduce costs, enhance customer service, and provide objective data to make educated business decisions. So ano po ba ang connection ng business processes and information system? So their connection is completing business operations more quickly by performing tasks continuously rather than gradually. So business intelligence. Business intelligence refers to the organization, analysis, and dissemination of data and software tools that enables managers and other enterprises users to make decisions. So as I mentioned earlier, for an example, so I have a model here, financial information system. So this is where nag-input sila ng data, mag-entry sila ng data for different, for example, for the record system, internal audit, and in financial system. So mag-aano siya as database. So ang magiging final decision nan with the managers na to create a decision when it comes to the forecasting, funds management, and financial control, and so on. So also business intelligence, also it refers to the process used to generate data reports. So next one is transaction processing system. So as mentioned in chapter 1, this is already defined in chapter 1, but in addition, TPS, or the transaction processing system, it is a computerized system, executes and document the everyday administrative tasks. So dito po yung papasok yung, as I mentioned earlier, yung pag nag-entry yung mga, ginagamit kasi usually ang TPS sa mga, especially sa amin sa hotel. So mas more on lahat kami is system ang ginagamit. So for an example sa HR department. So dahil since sila yung nagpe-payroll sa mga employees, so they will gather employee data, yung mga timekeeping, yung mga attendance. So they will entry it or input it in the system. So sa system, mag-generate na siya for a data, for a report. So dyan na siya papasok sa general ledger with the financial side. So sa management report, doon na rin papasok siya. So doon nagpa-process, doon nagagamit yung system, especially sa mga big companies. So management information system, it is also a kind of special information system that serves middle management. So they are also, when we say middle management, they are the one responsible for controlling and running an organization rather than making decisions about how it operates. So next one is the DSS, or the Decision Support System. It is a concentrate on situations that are distinct and changing quickly, where the process for finding a solution may not be completely set in advance. In addition, it is a computer program application used to improve a company's decision-making capabilities. It also analyzes large amounts of data and presents an organization with the best possible options available. Next one is the Executive Support System, or the ESS. So this system is for the senior management. So they deal with non-routine judgments that call for a discretion, analysis, and insight, because there is no established process for finding a solution. So it is also This also gives the ability to plan ahead and make better decisions. So management systems help companies track. It has also provide top managers with the capability to attain easy access to internal and external information, which is relevant to strategic decisions making and other executive responsibilities. So before we proceed for the last slide, so what is the difference of the TPS, DSS, and ESS? So TPS, again, the technology, sorry. So TPS, with the transaction processing system. So ano po ba difference sa TPS and DSS? So TPS, usually, ang gumagamit nito is clerical staff and some managers. So they use TPS to support operations, while the DSS, which is the decision support system, primary users are the line managers and support staff. So sa TPS, they stores current information, while the DSS generally uses historical internal and external data for analysis. So So difference of DSS and the ESS. So DSS is a decision support system that are designed to help managers to come up with a solution. Example dito is yung base nila dito is yung database mismo. So while the ESS, which is the executive support system, so they present summarized information that is used by the executives naman to come up with the best possible solutions. So what are the benefits of using a management information system within a company? So they provide real-time data that helps you plan ahead. They also can automate tasks and reduce errors. So they enable collaboration between teams. So using MIS, which is information system, so mas nakaka-reduce siya ng errors. For example, for a report, so syempre hindi naman lahat is perfect gumawa ng report. So mas madali siyang ma-revise, mas madali siyang ma-encode para maging accurate yung magiging data mo. So using management information system, mas madali siya with the different department. Especially in a hotel po kasi, we're using an Opera system. So lahat ng department, we're using it para this is the way yung makapag-communicate kami when it comes to the data. So when pag we ask for a report from for an example, for the F&B department, which is the food and beverage department, they will just input or entry some data that we need sa system na gamit namin. So doon mag-generate yun sa end ng finance. So I think this is the end of the part 1 of the chapter 2 po.
So you may continue.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so good day everyone. My name is Ferl Elaine Yu Cruz. So I will continue the discussions in International Electronic Business and Collaborations, Chapter 2 in Advanced Management Information System. So first things first. So let's identify what is enterprise application. So it is an organization operated in an ever-increasing competitive and global environment. So the successful organization focuses on the efficient execution of its processes, customer service, and speed to market. So enterprise applications provide an organization with a consolidated views of its operations across different functions, levels, and business units. Enterprise applications allow an organization to efficiently exchange information among its functional areas, business units, suppliers, and also the customers. So it helps businesses become more flexible and productive by coordinating their business processes more closely and integrating groups of processes so they can focus on efficient management of resources and customer service. So this slide provides the major enterprise application. We have the enterprise systems, supply chain management systems, customer relationship management systems, and knowledge management systems. So each of these will be discussed thoroughly on the following slides. First is the enterprise system. So enterprise systems integrate the key business processes of an organization into a single central data repository. So this makes it possible for information that was previously fragmented in different systems to be shared across the firm and for different parts of the business to work more closely together. So business benefits include information flows seamlessly throughout the organization, improving coordination, efficiency, and decision-making. It gives companies the flexibility to respond rapidly to customer requests while producing and stocking only the inventory necessary to fulfill existing order, and increasing customer satisfaction by improving product shipments, minimizing costs, and improving a firm's performance. It also improves decision-making by improving the quality of information for all levels of management. So that leads to better analysis of overall business performance, more accurate sales and production, forecast, and higher profitability. The next is the supply chain management system. So it helps businesses better manage relationships with their suppliers. So the objective is to get the right amount of products from the company's source to their point of consumption with the least amount of time and with the lowest cost. So SCM helps organizations achieve great efficiencies by automating parts of these processes or by helping organizations rethink and streamline these processes. SCM is important to a business because through its efficiency, it can coordinate, schedule, and control the delivery of products and services to the customers. So business benefits include decide when and what to produce, store, and move, rapidly communicate orders, track the status of orders, check inventory availability, and monitor inventory levels, reduce inventory, transportation, and warehouse cost, track shipments, plan production based on actual customer demand, rapidly communicate changes in product design. So the next system is the customer relationship management systems. So it enables a business to better manage its relationship with existing and potential customers. So with the growth of the web, potential customers can easily compare, shop for retail and wholesale goods, and even raw materials. So treating customers better has become more important. So this information helps firm identify, attract, and retain the most profitable customers, provide better service to existing customers, and increase sales. So business benefits include CRM systems consolidate customer data from multiple sources and provide analytical tools for answering questions. CRM tools integrate a business customer-related processes and consolidate customer information from multiple communication channels, giving the customer a consolidated view of the company. So detailed and accurate knowledge of customers and their preferences, of course, helps the business increase the effectiveness of their marketing campaigns and provide high-quality customer service and support. Last but not the least system is the knowledge management system. So these systems collect all relevant knowledge and experience in the firm and make it available wherever and whenever it is needed to improve business processes and management decisions. So knowledge management systems enable organizations to better manage process for capturing and applying knowledge and expertise. So they also link the firm to external source of knowledge. So the business benefits include KMS, support processes for acquiring, storing, distributing, and applying knowledge, as well as the processes for creating new knowledge and integrating it to the organization. So KMS include enterprise-wide systems for managing and distributing documents, graphics, and other digital knowledge objects, systems for creating corporate knowledge directories of employees with special areas of expertise, office systems for distributing knowledge and information, and knowledge work systems to facilitate knowledge creation. And last but not the least, KMS use intelligent techniques that codify knowledge and experience for use by other members of the organization, and tools for knowledge discovery that recognize patterns and important relationships in large pool of data. So let us now differentiate the intranets and extranet. So intranets are simply internal websites that are accessible only by the employees. So the term intranet refers to the fact that it is an internal network, in contrast to the internet, which is a public network linking organizations and other external networks. While extranet are company websites that are accessible to authorized vendors and suppliers, and often used to coordinate the movement of supplies to the firm's production apparatus. So because intranets and extranets shares the same technology and software platforms as the internet, they are easy and inexpensive ways for companies to increase integration and expedite the flow of information within the company. So that's intranets alone. And with customers and suppliers, that's extranet. So they provide ways to distribute information and store corporate policies, programs, and data. So both types of nets can be customized by users and provide a single point of access to information from several different systems. So businesses can connect the nets to transaction processing systems easily and quickly. So moving forward to the collaboration and teamwork, collaboration can be short-lived or long-term. So depending on the nature of the task and the relationship among participants. So it can be one-to-one or many-to-many, while teams are often short-lived depending on the problems they tackle and the length of the time they needed to find a solution and accomplish the mission. So collaboration and teamwork are important. Why? Because changing nature of work, more jobs are becoming interaction jobs. So this kind of jobs requires face-to-face interaction with other employees, managers, vendors, and customers. So they require systems that allow the interaction workers to communicate, collaborate, and share ideas. The next one is the growth of professional work. Professional jobs in the service sector require close coordination and collaboration. Next is changing organization of the firm. So work is no longer organized in hierarchical fashion as much as it's now organized into groups and teams who are expected to develop their own methods for accomplishing tasks. Next is the changing scope of the firm. Work is more geographically separated than before. Next is emphasis on innovation. Innovation stems more from groups and teams than it does from single individual. So next is the changing culture of work and business. Diverse teams produce better outputs faster than individuals working on their own. So the general benefit is that the more the business firm is collaborative in the nature, the more successful it will be. And the collaboration within and among firms is more essential than in the past. So the overall economic benefit of collaboration is significant. So in this slide, we will thoroughly discuss the business benefits of collaboration and teamwork. Number one, of course, is the productivity. People working together accomplish tasks faster with fewer errors than those working alone. Next is the quality. Of course, people can communicate errors and correct them faster when working together versus working alone. Next is the innovation. People working in groups can generate more innovative ideas than if they were working alone. Customer service. Of course, people working in teams can solve customer complaints and issues faster and more effectively versus working in isolation. And last but not the least is the financial performance. Collaborative firms have superior sales growth, and financial performance. The last item to discuss is for collaboration tools and technologies and social businesses. So historically, organizations were built on hierarchies, which did not allow much decision-making, planning, and organizing at lower levels of management or by employees. So communications were generally vertical through management levels rather than horizontal between groups of employees. So a collaborative culture relies on teams of employees to implement and achieve results for goals set by the senior managers. Policies, products, designs, processes, and systems are more dependent on teams at levels of the organization to devise, to create, and to build. Rather than employees being rewarded for individual results, they are rewarded based on the performance in the team. So the function of middle manager in a collaborative business culture is to build the teams, coordinate their work, and monitor their performance. In a collaborative culture, senior management establishes collaboration and teamwork as vital to the organization. And it actually implements collaboration for the senior ranks of the business as well. So here are some of the most common enterprise-wide information systems that businesses can use to support interaction jobs. Includes, number one is the email and instant messaging, or IM, are reliable methods for communicating whenever and wherever around the globe. Wikis are ideal tools for storing and sharing company knowledge and insights. They are often easier to use and cheaper than more proprietary knowledge management systems. They also provide a more dynamic and current repository of knowledge than other systems. Last but not least is the virtual worlds house online meetings, training sessions, and lounges where real-world people meet, interact, and exchange ideas. So finally, let us now discuss the Department of Information Systems. So the Information Systems Department is the formal organizational unit responsible for information technology services. So the Information Systems Department is responsible for maintaining the hardware, software, data storage, and networks that comprise the firm's IT infrastructure. So first is the programmers are highly trained technical specialists who write the software instructions for computers. Next is the system analyst. So they constitute the principal liaison between the information systems group and the rest of the organization. So the system analyst's job is to translate business problems and requirements into information requirements and systems. So next is the information systems manager. They lead teams of programmers and analysts, project managers, physical facility managers, telecommunication managers, or database specialists. So Chief Information Officer is a senior manager who oversees the use of information technology in the firm. The fourth is the Chief Security Officer. So they are the one responsible for information systems security in the firm and has the principal responsibility for enforcing the firm's information security policy. So the CSO is responsible for educating and training users and IS specialists about security, keeping management aware of security, threats, and breakdowns, and maintaining the tools and the policies chosen to implement security. Last but not the least is the Chief Knowledge Officers, or the CKO. They help design programs and systems to find new sources of knowledge and to make better use of existing knowledge in an organization and management processes. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you so much to the presenters. So